Hey, Cowboys Nation, this is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. The Dallas Cowboys have long been a franchise under the microscope, with every move scrutinized and dissected by fans and analysts alike. But recent whispers suggest that the storm inside the organization may be far deeper than anyone imagined. CeeDee Lamb, one of the brightest young stars on the roster, has reportedly broken his silence, voicing frustrations that could shake the foundations of the team. According to insiders, Lamb's concerns are not about his own performance or individual accolades, but about the overall direction of the team and the environment behind closed doors. There are murmurs that locker room dynamics are deteriorating, with tensions between veteran players and management reaching levels that could impact both morale and on-field cohesion. Fans and commentators alike are beginning to wonder whether the Cowboys are in the midst of a quiet internal collapse, where the issues are less about talent and more about leadership, communication, and respect within the organization. Lamb's alleged statements, which have not been fully confirmed publicly, suggest a growing impatience and a desire for meaningful change, reflecting a deeper dissatisfaction that could have far-reaching implications if ignored. The speculation now centers on how the team's leadership will respond, whether with transparency or further obfuscation, as the spotlight intensifies. Sources close to the situation claim that the tension Lamb alludes to has been simmering for months, but recent incidents appear to have escalated the sense of urgency. Some speculate that this could be related to contract negotiations, coaching decisions, or perceived favoritism that has unsettled the balance of the locker room. According to insiders, Lamb has reportedly expressed concerns that certain decisions made by management are destroying the team from within, a phrase that has fueled countless discussions among sports commentators and fans on social media platforms. Analysts suggest that if these issues are not addressed promptly, they could lead to a cascading effect, influencing player performance, cohesion, and ultimately the public perception of the franchise. There are even whispers that some veteran players may be considering their own options, sensing a leadership vacuum that could affect the team's trajectory in the upcoming seasons. The narrative emerging around the Cowboys now centers not on wins or losses, but on the psychological and strategic state of a franchise that appears to be at a crossroads. Lamb's voice, emerging from what many believed was a quiet resignation, could become a rallying point for change or a catalyst for deeper conflict, depending on how the situation unfolds behind closed doors. While fans debate Lamb's intentions, speculation is rampant about the role of the coaching staff in this growing crisis. Some suggest that recent strategic decisions may have contributed to a fractured locker room, creating divisions that players are now struggling to overcome. Observers note that even minor disagreements in such a high-profile environment can become magnified, especially when they involve star players who carry both talent and public influence. The idea that the team is being destroyed from within could be interpreted as a critique of leadership choices, communication breakdowns, or even subtle power struggles that often go unnoticed by casual observers. There is also chatter about the possibility that front office decisions may be prioritizing short-term gains over long-term stability, a strategy that could alienate key players and create a toxic environment. Lamb's comments, whether intended as a warning or a cry for action, have sent ripples through the fan base, raising questions about loyalty, accountability, and the internal culture of one of the NFL's most storied franchises. Analysts emphasize that the unfolding situation may test not only the resilience of the players, but also the capacity of the organization to respond effectively under pressure. Some insiders speculate that the tension could be part of a larger narrative involving player empowerment in the NFL. Lamb's alleged frustration might reflect a broader trend, where elite athletes feel increasingly responsible for voicing concerns about organizational health, culture, and direction. If this is true, it would suggest that the Cowboys' internal issues are symptomatic of larger shifts across the league, where players are more willing to challenge authority and demand accountability. The ripple effect of such actions can be unpredictable, potentially reshaping team hierarchies, influencing coaching strategies, and altering fan perceptions. There are whispers that other players may be quietly aligning with Lamb's sentiments, seeing in his words a validation of their own unspoken frustrations. If these rumors hold any truth, the Cowboys may be on the brink of a transformative period, One defined not just by personnel changes, but by a reevaluation of priorities, leadership, and internal dynamics. The unfolding drama offers a tantalizing mix of speculation and suspense, drawing fans into conversations that go far beyond touchdowns and statistics. Lamb's emergence as a vocal figure could mark a turning point in the franchise's internal narrative. Meanwhile, social media has become a battlefield for fans interpreting Lamb's alleged statements, with heated debates about loyalty, accountability, and the state of the franchise dominating discussion threads. Some argue that his honesty is refreshing and necessary, while others fear that airing grievances publicly could exacerbate existing divisions. Analysts note that the timing of Lamb's comments, amid ongoing speculation about team performance and management decisions, only adds fuel to the fire. There is even chatter suggesting that these statements could influence future recruitment, negotiations, and the perception of the Cowboys across the league. The narrative now extends beyond the field, encompassing reputation, media narratives, and the complex interplay between star power and organizational authority. Lamb, whether intentionally or not, has become a focal point for a broader conversation about the culture of professional sports teams, leadership, accountability, and the sometimes fragile balance between talent and management. The speculation surrounding his remarks ensures that the story will not fade quickly, with fans and insiders alike eagerly awaiting any sign of resolution or further revelation. Ultimately, the Cowboys find themselves navigating an uncertain path where internal tensions, public scrutiny, and speculation converge. Lamb's alleged statement about the team being destroyed from within resonates, not only because of his status as a star player, but also because it taps into broader concerns about leadership, culture, and sustainability. Observers are left to ponder whether the franchise can reconcile these internal issues before they escalate, or whether the simmering tension could ignite a crisis that reshapes the team's identity. Rumors continue to swirl about potential interventions, changes in strategy, or even personnel shifts that might address the dissatisfaction. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation and anxiety, as fans watch closely to see if management can stabilize the situation, or if the Cowboys will continue to grapple with internal turmoil that threatens to undermine their competitive ambitions. Lamb's voice, whether a spark for constructive change or a harbinger of deeper conflict, has undeniably altered the narrative, forcing the organization to confront questions that extend far beyond the field. As the narrative surrounding CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys intensifies, speculation is building around the potential consequences of his candid remarks. Some insiders suggest that these comments could signal a breaking point within the team, where the frustration of key players may finally compel management to make bold decisions. The discussion has shifted from the realm of on-field performance to the very fabric of the organization, with fans and analysts alike debating whether the Cowboys can maintain cohesion in the face of internal criticism. Rumors are circulating that front office executives are quietly assessing the situation, exploring strategies to contain dissent while attempting to reinforce the team's competitive edge. Lamb's statements, reportedly reflecting concern about the team's internal health, could influence everything from game day dynamics to long-term strategic planning, creating a complex web of implications that extend far beyond individual grievances. Some speculate that this could trigger a series of high-profile meetings behind closed doors, with coaching staff, veteran leaders, and front office executives attempting to chart a path forward that addresses concerns without destabilizing the roster further. The intrigue lies not only in the content of Lamb's remarks, but also in how the franchise chooses to respond to a star player's vocal critique, a scenario that has become increasingly relevant in today's player-empowered NFL landscape. Among the many theories circulating, one particularly persistent rumor suggests that Lamb's comments could be indicative of wider unrest within the locker room. While the specifics remain unverified, analysts and insiders are suggesting that his concerns may resonate with other players who have quietly expressed dissatisfaction with management decisions, coaching strategies, or the general culture of the organization. Some speculate that this internal friction could be contributing to a disconnect between the team's potential on paper and its performance in practice and games. Observers note that when star players openly voice frustration, it often serves as both a warning and a rallying cry, potentially encouraging others to speak up or reconsider their own roles within the team. The possibility of collective concern, or even subtle factionalism within the locker room, adds a layer of complexity to the situation, raising questions about loyalty, leadership, and the sustainability of the franchise's current operational approach in this context. Lamb's emergence as a vocal figure becomes not just a personal statement, but a potential catalyst for broader organizational reflection and strategic recalibration, the full effects of which are yet to be seen. Rumors have also focused on the potential ripple effects beyond the locker room, as fans and media outlets speculate about the impact on the Cowboys' public image. Lamb's candid remarks, whether fully substantiated or amplified by hearsay, are fueling debates on social media platforms, sports podcasts, and talk shows, creating a narrative that transcends the field. Analysts suggest that these discussions could influence recruitment, sponsorship, and even the perception of the franchise in the broader NFL ecosystem. Some speculate that prospective players may now view the Cowboys differently, weighing the team's internal culture and leadership style as much as its competitive potential. The tension surrounding Lamb's comments also highlights the growing importance of transparency, communication, and player satisfaction in professional sports organizations, suggesting that how the Cowboys respond may set a precedent for other teams facing similar internal challenges. In essence, the rumor mill surrounding Lamb has transformed a player's personal concerns into a story with potentially league-wide implications, demonstrating the interconnected nature of performance, perception, and organizational culture in modern sports. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News. Drop a like and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Meanwhile, speculation continues about how this situation might affect on-field strategies and dynamics. Analysts suggest that if internal tensions are not addressed, they could subtly influence decision-making, teamwork, and execution during games, even if the talent and skills of the players remain unquestioned. Some speculate that coaches may need to implement new approaches to mitigate friction, rebuild trust, and foster cohesion, potentially altering formations, rotations, or leadership roles within the team. The rumor is that Lamb's influence, combined with growing unease among his peers, could necessitate a shift in approach that goes beyond traditional coaching tactics, incorporating elements of psychology, motivation, and conflict resolution. This scenario, if true, underscores the increasingly complex responsibilities faced by modern sports organizations, where managing relationships and culture can be just as critical as athletic performance. Fans and commentators alike are now watching closely, speculating about how internal narratives, amplified by a star player's candid perspective, might manifest in tangible changes both on and off the field, creating a suspenseful environment that keeps the story alive long after the headlines fade. Some insiders speculate that Lamb's statements may be part of a broader trend, where elite players feel more empowered to publicly voice their opinions about team management, strategy, and culture. If this is indeed the case, the Cowboys' situation could reflect a paradigm shift in professional sports, where player influence extends beyond contracts and statistics to encompass organizational decisions and cultural norms. Analysts point out that such a shift carries risks and rewards. On one hand, fostering open dialogue could lead to improved morale, innovation, and engagement. On the other, it could spark controversy, division, and heightened scrutiny. Rumors suggest that management may be considering ways to navigate this new landscape, balancing authority with the perspectives of star athletes, a delicate process that requires skill, diplomacy, and timing. Lamb's emergence as a vocal figure might not only reshape the Cowboys' internal environment, but also influence how other teams respond to similar challenges, setting the stage for ongoing debate about the evolving role of athletes in shaping the organizations they represent. Finally, speculation about the future continues to dominate conversations among fans, insiders, and analysts. Some suggest that Lamb's comments could presage significant changes in leadership, roster strategy, or team culture, while others argue that the situation may ultimately settle quietly, with concerns addressed internally and the narrative fading from public view. Regardless of the outcome, the fact that these rumors are circulating at all highlights the fragile balance within high-profile esports organizations, where internal dynamics, media scrutiny, and public perception intersect in unpredictable ways. Lamb's apparent willingness to speak out has ignited discussion, debate, and concern, transforming a single player's perspective into a story with wide-reaching implications for the Cowboys, the NFL, and the broader sports community. As the saga unfolds, fans are left to speculate, analyze, and wonder what the future holds for a franchise facing a possible internal reckoning. where the voice of one star player could reverberate across the entire organization, reshaping its trajectory in ways no one can yet fully predict. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.